Here I have two triangles. They kind of share a side, and I need to identify the congruent triangles by their names. So I've got a triangle on top, a triangle on bottom. It doesn't matter which one I start with, but I'll just start with the top one for fun. So I've got, let's say, triangle ABC. And to start off, it doesn't really matter what you name the very first one. I just happen to go in alphabetical order. Now, triangle ABC is congruent to which triangle? The order of the letters that you pick is very important. Here I started with ABC. Start at A, head toward B, end up at C. I'm going to follow the same steps to name the second triangle. In other words, I'm going to follow along this segment that has one congruence mark, and then I'm going to follow down this other segment with two congruence marks. So start at A, head towards C. So for the second triangle, I'm going to follow the same method, just down the other direction. Start at A, head toward D, end up at C. So that triangle is named ADC. Here's another example. We can start with the triangle on the left or the triangle on the right. Doesn't really matter which one you start with. I think I'll start with the one on the left. Let's say triangle PQS. And which one is that congruent to? So we start at P, and angle P, that angle is made up of a segment with two congruence marks and a segment with one congruence mark. So that tells me angle P is corresponding with angle R. So I know that the second triangle's name will start with R. Now, I go from P to Q, which follows along this segment with one tick mark. So that means I'll have to follow from R along the same segment. So PQS and RQS. S. Take a minute and try this next example on your own. Here's one possibility. MNO is congruent to QPO. There are other possibilities as well. That's another possibility. Can you think of another possibility? Let's take a look at another example. Lastly, so we've got this triangle down below here. Let me just shift up a little bit. We're dealing with triangle RTV, let's say. So what are we going to name our second triangle? If we start at R, that angle is made up of a congruence segment 2 and 3. And so I need to start at angle U. The reason is it's also made up of a segment with 2 and 3 congruence marks. So R corresponds with U. Now, we moved from R to T to V. So R towards T, head up at V. Again, we're going to start at U. We're going to move along that parallel line and end up at V. So it should be U, S, V. And those are those congruent triangles.